Good afternoon, Edson. It is Mayor Kevin Zahara with you with our final flood update, along with Chief Administrative Officer for the town of Edson, Christine Beveridge. Great to be with you. Wish it was under better circumstances. A few things. First thing I want to mention today is this will be our final flood update, but we will continue to provide information via our Facebook page and website, so continue to go there. And if there's anything urgent or required, we certainly will do another video update if it is necessary. Later this afternoon, actually in about a half an hour or so, events are going to be starting at the Edson District Leisure Center. I want to touch on this before we get into the important information regarding the situation with the fire and the floods. Really would love to see the entire community out at the Leisure Center today for the community celebration, because we are a strong and resilient community. We've seen that over the last number of weeks. I'm incredibly proud of everybody in the town of Edson and Yellowhead County. We've gone through a hell of a time here the last number of weeks, and our FCSS staff have been working behind the scenes to get this event put on, sponsored by the RBC Foundation and Bannister, in conjunction with Yellowhead County and FCSS. So there's going to be a number of free activities at the Leisure Center. Public swim from 5:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. 2 lanes are available for lane swim between 8 and 9. They're going to have an activity zone and inflatables for the kids between 3:30 and 7:30 p.m. Coloring contests, hot dogs between 5 and 7 p.m., snacks and bannock. There's going to be water there, as well as we have the Red Cross that's there, and they're going to have a whole bunch of free kits, and I can't believe how much stuff they brought out here for the community. And we're also going to have a representative there from Alberta Emergency Management later this afternoon as well. So it's going to be a great event. So let's get together with our friends and our neighbors, and I know a lot of people have been cleaning up homes, so this will be a good opportunity to maybe step away for a few minutes and, just enjoy some, I guess, more relaxing time and kind of reset, because, boy, we've been through a lot over the last number of weeks. So with that, hope to see you down there. Councillors will be down there throughout the evening. I'll be down there later on tonight. It's just a great event, and I want to thank our staff for arranging this. We are Edson strong. We are Edson proud. So with that, I will move to CAO Christine Beveridge. I just met you recently, right? Who, once again, she's been doing one heck of a job as well with the update. Really important information here regarding both the fire and the floods, so please listen closely. Go ahead, Christine.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So let's start off with some positive news. We have some good news with regards to the wildfire that is south of us. It's currently being listed as being held, meaning it's no longer out of control. Knowing that this can change quickly, we're going to continue to share this with you, but this is very welcome news to us right now. And I'm sure that we can all breathe a little bit easier knowing that we aren't in as great a risk as what we were about a week ago. So water levels are starting to come down in the community, but they're still higher than normal. So we need to be vigilant and need to be careful. The banks of the water bodies that we have, they're very delicate, if you will, and very sensitive. I mean, the reality is they can slough in at any time. So again, I mentioned this yesterday about looking and coming in and seeing the areas where there has been damage. It may look like it's just normal ground, but it's potentially very dangerous for you. So we really want to make sure the public is aware of that. The storm, of course, it was considered as a once in a 50-year event, and it will take some time. We will be dealing with the aftermath of this storm for a while, most definitely. So let's just remember that, there's lots of, we're going to be continually sharing information with regards to what the next several weeks look like, but just continue to watch our page. We're going to be sharing a lot of resources. This isn't Town of Edson made resources. This is information that our specialists that, are aware of what to do following a flood, being Red Cross, also Alberta Emergency Management. There's a lot of agency, as well as AHS. There's health issues as well. So we need to make sure that we're still keeping up with the Town of Edson Facebook and website. So 6th Ave at 47th Street, near the old hospital site, that will remain closed until further notice. There's a lot of issues with that road. And it's a very dangerous area. So we have put up barricades, etc. We can't have public going onto that road. It is absolutely not safe. There's bridges, roads, parks, and other town infrastructure that are currently being evaluated for potential damage. So if you see our crews, there's a lot of our crews out there trying to do their best. You know, I think it's really important to note that, you know, things I'm kind of hearing from my staff are that, you know, they're trying to do the best work they can. They're trying to make sure that they, you know, are covering off and making this safe for our residents. But there's a little bit of negativity towards them as they're trying to do their job. And I'm hearing that also when it comes to the phones. And I understand the frustration that individuals have. Things are very stressful. And I, you know, to be fair, I can't imagine what you're going through when it comes to your homes being affected by this personally. But I also I need to ask you to please remember that the people that are answering the phones, they've either been through the last 3 emergencies working for this community, that they're people. We need to make sure that we're kind at this time. So that's just a request from myself. It's not fair what some of my staff are dealing with and trying to assist. Residential impact. So anyone whose homes or property have been impacted by flooding, you must notify your insurance provider before you remove anything. That's critically important. Again, I talked about resident safety, making sure that when you're dealing with your floodwaters, you're informed, you know what to do, and that you are making sure that you're safe. I've touched on a little bit about the flooded areas. I do have information from today, as soon as, I think, as recent as about 45 minutes ago, that there have been children, small children, near our water areas in the Kinsman Park area. Parents, I'm really hoping that you can understand. I'm a mom, and to hear that kids are playing in the water, we need to make sure we're making sure our kids understand the risks here. So we've been so lucky through this entire emergency, that no one has been hurt, but we need to make sure that continues. So the water might be deeper than you think. The banks around could be unstable. Please wear N95 or surgical masks while you're doing your home flood cleanup. That's just a safety precaution. Again, about electrical outlets, don't plug anything into the outlets if they've been submerged. The same thing goes with the panel. Make sure that you're contacting an electrician to make sure that everything's good before you go to engage with any of your electrical outlets in your basements. Keep track of your efforts. Keep track of your time. That's going to be really important. And as I mentioned, please don't send it to the town of Edson yet, and it won't be to the town of Edson, but just for yourselves, please document that. Your insurance company might be able to help you line up a professional remediation company, so reach out to them. And this goes not only as far as the cleanup of debris and water and your goods, your sort of household matter. It's about the potential mold in the future as well. So there's a lot of stuff that we have to be mindful of when you're dealing with floodwaters. So we'll be posting more, as I said, about cleaning and waste removal tips on our website and social media daily, in the days to come, as well as following this update. Again, for emergency assistance, phone 780-723-6300, such as imminent flooding. So of course, if you're seeing something that doesn't look right, please call. And if your basement is flooded, phone the town office at 780-723-4401 to register your house. And that is also inclusive of allowing us to hook you up with Red Cross assistance. This is also really important as well with regards to the landfill, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So town office, we opened the doors today to serve you in person. We do have reduced services as we still are dealing with the flood, and we've got, you know, staff that also, because of their work on the emergency, we're trying to do the best we can with the staff that we have. So again, just be mindful, reduced services. You may not be able to do everything, but we're trying really hard to get up and running for you. The landfill is open. We've had a few glitches with this. I'll address them, and I think that it's important to understand. In order to open the landfill for this morning, we had to have a plan as far as how we were going to deal with waste. And I know that our crews have been dealing with GFL to get specific, to the individuals that were registered to get bins to your properties versus you having to bring them. So one of the things is if you've registered and you take it to the dump, you can do so, and anyone can take it there. But the reality is that if you coordinate with us, we can get a bin to your home. So we apologize for any glitches with that. It was a little bit. We pulled it together fairly quickly for everyone this morning. This is just a note as well. Do not throw out any items before speaking to your insurance company. Really important there. Water ban has been removed. Fire ban has been removed. Concludes my updates, but I just wanted to close with thank you so much to our crews that continue to work through the floods and continue to work on the fires, because we've spent 2 days now speaking about floods. There still is a fire situation, and we will continue to bring updates through our social media. That Alberta wildfire website is ideal for everyone to also be following as well. We're just going to have to, we'll share that as well. That is the end of my update. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. And once again, I just want to reiterate, our staff are not to blame for any of this. Please treat them with respect and kindness. I know people get frustrated, and that's totally understandable. If you want to yell at somebody, come talk to me. Otherwise, please, we're going to try to work and help as much as we can. That's why we're trying to get bins to people's places so they don't have the stress of having to load trucks and drive them to the landfill and things like that. We'll be continuing our advocacy efforts with the provincial government to see where we can make improvements. You look around throughout Yellowhead County and Edmonton even, this has been a lot of rainfall that has caused a lot of damage, millions upon millions of dollars worth of damage. Bridges are down everywhere. I was talking to a guy that works for an oil field company here in town down the Repsol Road, and the infrastructure down the Repsol Road, how that's been damaged, and how high up those waters are, and some of the huge trees that are floating down the rivers. Stay away from those areas. Those currents are fast, or even our tiny little creeks here that are raised right now, those currents are fast, and we can't have kids playing in those areas. Talk to your kids, keep your kids away from those areas. We don't know how stable those banks are, and we don't want to see a tragedy in our community. It's really, really important that everybody's safety is paramount throughout this. And I also want to say that we are working hard. Christine and her team is working hard to stand up town services. I think the street sweeper is already out, but there's some services that can't come back right away because we have staff redeployed elsewhere. We also need to give our staff some time off. They've been working some pretty hellish hours and under a lot of stress. We got to make sure they're taken care of as well. Once again, just want to thank everybody for your patience and understanding through this. I hope we have a fantastic summer. I am drawing up a plan just in case of an alien invasion. That might happen. No, I'm just kidding. I've got to have a little bit of humor, right? Hopefully we'll have a much better summer, and I look forward to this event this afternoon at the Leisure Center. So with that, Steve, do we have any questions online?
There are no questions.
No questions. All right. Well, thank you once again for joining us. As I mentioned earlier, this is our final live update. We will keep you informed through our social media channels. I know our staff are in contact with property owners as well, so please work with them. I hope that we have a very uneventful weekend, and we get to enjoy some time with some half decent weather. Once again as well, before we end this, the fire situation, I get a lot of messages about the fire. This fire is going to burn all summer. That's the reality. It's going to be burning underground. People that are out there are saying that they're already seeing, some smoke coming up. A lot of the water has run off. We just need precipitation throughout the summer. It is being monitored closely. Crews are working on those hot spots. We are in a much better position. Nothing to be overly, I don't want to use the word overly concerned about. We need to pay attention to it, but there's no imminent risk, and we'll keep you updated on that as well, and work with our partners at Alberta Wildfire. Thank you and have a good day.